So Donald Trump appears to have fallen asleep during a talk with the NIH director, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, and we're going to show the clip for you guys right now. But just I want you to look at Donald Trump's face. It almost looks as if he loses consciousness for a brief second. You ever been in like a conversation and you just like drift off for a second, then you you recollect yourself? That sort of appears to be what happened with Trump as they're talking about the rise of autism in this country. So we're going to play the clip and then we're going to talk about it.
Take this extremely seriously, as we have been for the last year and a half and more of the presidency. At the NIH, what we've done is we have established the Autism Data Science Initiative, which started almost a year more, actually more than a year ago, where we funded a dozen and more major research teams to answer the question of what is the cause of autism. It's a complicated biological phenomenon. It's not going to be a simple answer. It will have, as the Secretary said, potentially genetic predisposition, but that cannot possibly explain why we've seen such a large rise in autism. There must be some other environment to take.
Now, I'm just going to sit here and say that if this was Joe Biden, the media would be going absolutely crazy. And I don't even like Joe Biden. So, a lot of people are now starting to call Donald Trump dozing Don because of this little clip here. But look, he's kind of matching Sleepy Joe's energy, man. And it's really crazy stuff. And, I feel like the topic of discussion is even worse, especially considering it's all pseudoscience. I mean, we know what the rise of autism, why there is a rise of autism in this country and worldwide for that matter. It's simply because we have better screening for autism. And the false equivalency saying that, vaccines causes autism is only as a consequence of kids getting vaccines. And then at a certain point early on, people realize, wait a second, like they got autism. And so people equate the two and two together. Like, wait a second, like, oh my God, it must have been the vaccines they got when they were little babies. That's now causing this autism. When in reality, there's absolutely no evidence for that. And the rise of autism, just because there happens to be more vaccines nowadays, has nothing to do with each other. The fact of the matter is that we just have better screening. Before, back in the day, you might have just been a little bit quirky, might have been a little bit different. Whereas nowadays, you can get diagnosed for things. It's just how it works. It's kind of like ADHD, right? I've always been a big fan of saying that most people probably don't actually have ADHD. We're just putting a label on people. It's like, look, if you think that like every boy who can't sit still in class, for example, has ADHD, it's like, look, man, like I'm sorry to tell you, like, I don't think biologically we're necessarily wired to sit in a fluorescently lit room for 8 hours a day and learn about things like math and, ELA. Like, I'm sorry. Just call me crazy, but I think that we should probably have a little bit more of a diversified educational experience if we want to avoid some of these diagnoses. Because you see the kids and like they're starting to go crazy, they're bouncing off the walls, and it's like, I wonder why. It's like because they're in this artificially lit room, they're just like losing their minds. It's like their blood is itching because they want to move, they want to have that experience, and and so there's a rise in diagnosis of ADHD. But you're gonna say, is that a cause of vaccines? Absolutely not. Right? Absolutely not. Instead, we'll say, okay, well, they just, they're now stuck in school all the time, and it's just they're not biologically wired for it. And, the idea of vaccines being, somehow harmful, there's just no evidence of it. It's in the exact same category as the ADHD diagnoses, right? Yes, we may have seen a rise of it, but it has nothing to do with the vaccines, and all the data supports this. All of the data supports this. I mean, if you talk to anybody in the educational community, like I have my doctorate in education, if you talk to anybody in the psychology community, if you talk to anybody in the medical community, pretty much 99% of them, unless there's some quack, is going to say, look, there's actually no evidence at all in the least that the vaccines are causing autism. And so, look, I mean, is it a valid investigation to say, should we be investigating this? And the answer is, well, maybe, I guess. It's like, but we've already kind of done that. And the literature on this is pretty damn clear. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about this here. Was Donald Trump passing out? What are your thoughts on the anti-vaxxers? I find it very unfortunate in this country because it harms a lot of kids. I was somebody, you can go check my Twitter post on this. I was hating on the anti-vaxxers before it was even cool to hate on the anti-vaxxers. This was like pre-COVID. I'm talking like 2018. I was just absolutely ripping on the anti-vaxxers because, you know, it does not change your DNA. We know this for a fact, and we know that autism, while it's a spectrum, is genetic. You know, like maybe there's some environmental link in some cases, right? But you know, broadly speaking, this is more of a diagnosis issue as opposed to some environmental pollution issue or some environmental, you know, thing that is just impacting all these people who are getting diagnosed. So it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting conversation. But of course, you know, our wonderful presidency has to go on the side of the pseudoscience as opposed to the side of reality. It's just how it is in this country, and we just sort of have to come to expect that. But at the very least, if we are going to have a civilized conversation about this, can we at least not pass out while you're on live TV in the Oval Office? Can you at least pull it together for 5 minutes and then you can take a nap in private? I don't know. I mean, you know, it's what it is. I'm not going to say we all haven't been drowsy and we all haven't wanted to fall asleep. But dude, you're the president, bro, and like you're spitting out pseudoscience. Meanwhile, you're taking you're about to pass out in the Oval Office. I don't know. People say it's a hard job. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it is a hard job, but at the end of the day, this guy's not doing anything productive for our country. He's selling insider information, for the love of God, and we still haven't got the unredacted and fully released Epstein files yet. I mean, in what world is this supposed to be acceptable? And in what world is this America first? I have absolutely no idea. But if you did enjoy the video, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for some more content. Of course, we're bringing out new videos all the time. Try to get us to 600 subscribers. And with that said, guys, my name is Dr. Ian Phillips, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.